Good morning. October 20th, 2021. Nice to see everyone this morning. See your cheery faces. See Ileana. That was great. Abby is in the room, so she could make an appearance right now. She's all about the sun that's on the floor, so she may stay right there. All right, again, welcome. Okay, let's start out by getting ourselves all situated in our chair. Feet flat on the floor. They make the number 11. Knees right above ankles. Scoot yourself back in your chair so you feel your sit bones on the floor, on the chair, and you feel your back against the chair. Take a nudge. Just nudge your shoulders back. And then think about this length and strength through the spine, so you're getting that sense of a bit of a lift right through the top of the head, the crown of the head. Shrug the shoulders and gently let them down, thinking about this distance between earlobe and top of the shoulders. Great, so the shoulders are back and they're down. So if you were to do a little side-to-side motion here, you'd feel as much of your back as possible against the chair, and maybe even your shoulder blades. Great, okay. Let's just take our hands in prayer position. Namaste, welcome. Taking your hands down to your thighs. And I invite the whole of you to class today, not just the face you might present, but the whole of you, all the emotions up and down and side to side, and the good, the bad, the ugly, just the whole of you. We spend a lot of our time in life presenting our best self, which we all know how to do. And every once in a while, well, more than that, we need to find places where we can be completely ourselves. And maybe during this hour, that can be a possibility for you. So if during the hour thoughts come up that you just don't want to think about, or you've been thinking about too much, see if you can breathe them away, but allow them to come up. Instead of we tend to tamp them down, allow them to come up, and then maybe they can dissipate. So let's begin with our breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, close your eyes, let your chin draw down, let the head be heavy, let all those thoughts that are churning their way right out. So perhaps you're left with a cleaner slate and more possibility for positive thoughts to come in. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky at the same time that you bring your hands up. Again, without effort, your arms are just reaching gently out of your shoulders. As you gaze upward, you're looking at the spot right around where ceiling meets wall. And now take in, just lift through the side body, leaving the sit bones in place, but taking that whole side here, rib cage, shoulders lift, draws up the rib cage, and the arms, hands reach up as well. And then just take those hands, rest them down on your shoulders, and then let that weight encourage you to draw the shoulders down. Circle the elbows, finding your perfect circumference of circle. Nice, waking up some of those joints, waking up the muscles. Great, other direction. Nice. And now lift them so the elbows point directly out of the shoulders, and then bring them as close as you can together, and then open them. So as you open, maybe you go a little bit wider so your elbows are behind you, and then you bring them together, and then you open. No straining, but just feeling a stretch, pectoralis muscles right across the front of the chest. It's still allergy season up here. So my apologies. Now take those elbows together, release the hands, bring them together as best you can. Lift if that's some stretching that's available to you, a little bit of a lift here, and then open, gazing upward, turn the palms and float those arms right back down. Pardon me, just for a moment. Great. And now just roll the shoulders a couple of times each way. And now lift those arms up, cross one over the other. Give yourself a hug. A hug that you mean. Squeezing yourself, open up, cross the other arm on top. Give yourself a hug, pat your back, good job. And take those hands down. Let's take our hands, either leave them here or take them and gently hold on to the side of the chair. Feel your sit bones very connected to the seat of the chair. And we're just going to take and do our chair lifts, which is lifting both feet at the same time. Make sure you maintain that distance between the knees. So with an inhale, lift and down, and lift. And they don't go far off the floor at all, if at all. All right, this one, bring it up, hold it, and release down. Noticing how when we do that, very particularly, we're keeping our legs in this nice 90-degree angle. In that way, we're forcing our core muscles to work. Our quads are working too, but the core is doing most of the work. So let's do that again. Again, hands here or here. Inhale, lift and release. Inhale, lift and release. And just take a moment to be aware of how many muscles, how many parts of your lower torso are working to create this lift. So whether the feet actually lift or whether it's just that you use the muscles that would make them lift. Okay, here's one. Oh, let's do one more. Hold it. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Down, stamp it out. And then stamp it wide and stamp it back together. Stamp it out wide and stamp it together. And pause, inhale. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down, turn the palms, inhale up, palms together, exhale down, inhale up, and down, turn the palms outward, inhale up, and down. One more time, inhale up, open, hold, and exhale in place, tap the feet out, so we're in our 5-pointed star, our place of complete openness and acceptance, ready to receive, ready for challenges, ready for the day. Inhale, fingertips, and exhale down, and heel toe the feet back together until they're in the number 11s. Nice. So when I talk about not putting your knees together to lift, if you do that, then you're using the strength of your legs, and that's a common thing to do. And we're just asking, so let's try that one more time. Legs apart, feet apart, lift. Much harder to do this. Great, okay, down. And that's why I like the knees apart, because they help each other. and we're not getting at the muscles that we want to get at. Okay, let's bring the arms up again. Last time we stretched up towards the sky. This time it's not a side bend, but we're going to press the rib cage out and then press it out. Great. And if you have scoliosis, you are, of course, going to experience this very differently on each side. Your range of motion will be very different. And as always, in this gentle chair yoga class, don't do anything that hurts. Just go to your gentle edge. One more. And float those arms down. Widen heel toe the feet out. Scoot slightly forward. Ah, it's cauldron season. I love that. Big black cauldron, big wooden spoon. Stir it up. My daughter and grandkids are coming on Saturday. We're going to carve pumpkins. Now my grandkids are no longer little people. They're 19 and almost 17. So I'm thrilled that pumpkin carving is still something that we can all do together. So I went to this place here, Tender Crop Farms, and got these giant pumpkins. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, so we stirred up our pumpkin brew, and then just take our arms down. Sternum comes forward, press into the floor with your feet. So you've got a little bit of a curve to the back, shoulders down, shoulder blades reaching towards each other. Inhale, exhale, just again, feel this sense of openness. This is not a way that we sit normally in life, but our muscles need to be able to expand and take the hands down. If you've got any more room to open those legs any wider, go ahead and do that. We're getting to this place of stretching our adductors. So just place a hand inside each thigh, one at a time. Nudge them just a little bit farther open. Again, you might find a very different range of motion on each side or levels of tightness in this adductor muscle. Okay, pause right where you are. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs. Here's our hip hinge right here. Femur, follow the femur moving in to the hips. Hip hinge, hands here. And just come forward until you feel those adductors stretching. Great. So notice we are taking our spine directly forward. We're not curving over at all. We're keeping that same integrity of the spine. Come back, open. Then take your hands to your thighs, hip hinge, sternum leads, chin leads, nose leads. Press the feet into the floor and come back, straight spine, and then open, back bend. Hands to the thighs, hip hinge forward. Make sure you're breathing through all this. The muscles are working really hard, even though the movements are not large. The muscles are working really hard. And then come back and open and release. Scissor the feet in. Not all the way in, maybe they're as wide as the chair legs. Hands to your hips and just press the whole front body forward, including your belly. So what's happening in the back is that the tailbone is lifting. Now we're going to tuck the tailbone, retract the belly button, and then forward. So we isolate this movement right here in the lumbar spine region, sacral region. So we're not curving the upper body. We're just stretching out the lower back. Great. Nice. We really always want to maintain this connection between the core, the abdominal muscles, and the low back muscles. Strong core equals strong low back. All right, now place it in what feels to you like neutral. It's going to feel different with everybody. So your belly isn't fully forward and your belly button's not fully retracted. You're in neutral. Leaving the feet right where they are, just take and point the toes out. And now just lift those arms up. Check yourself, looking out over each arm to make sure, like if you did this, they'd be equidistant from the floor, keeping them open, nice and wide, and then take them into our cactus arms. So we start out with them straight open and lifted, and then we just bend. So we leave the upper arm lifted. Inhale and exhale. This is the goddess pose. Keep breathing through it. And then take those arms together, lift them to the sky, and come into five-pointed star. And take your hands down. And now scissor those feet right back together so that they're back in the number 11s. Perfecto. Scoot yourself back in the chair. And we're going to twist over to the left. I always do this. I hook my arm behind the chair. Feel free to do that or to just have both arms down at your side. So we're going for a twist of the entire spinal cord. And then twist to the other side. And twist. Going to your gentle edge, your gentle extension of this pose. And come back through center. Taking your hands on your shoulders, scoot yourself back. Guide yourself over to one side. Slide your back against the chair as you lift that elbow up. If you like, feel free to go over with the arm. Gives you a little deeper stretch. So pressing those sit bones into the floor, pressing your low back into the back of the chair as you go side to side. Last one. And down. Inhale. And exhale. Again, take those arms back like you're the masthead on a boat. Take them right back. You can even hook them behind your chair. Maybe your hands are clasped. Gently look up. Sternum is forward. Feet on the floor. And then let everything relax and come right back to seated. Okay, we're going to do a combination of the twisting and the side bend. So we're going to go twist, twist, side bend, and masthead. And again, if that's not what yours looks like, just keep moving. That's the byword in all of this. So we'll start over to the left with a twist, and then twist, side bend, other side, and then forward. Do that again. Twist, twist other side, side bend, and forward. One more round of that. Twist, and twist, and side bend, other side, and forward, and roll those arms up, palms together, down to prayer, and release. Nice job. Rolling the shoulders just a little bit, loosening everything up. Okay, let's start our legs, our jogging legs. Taking a jog around your block, a local trail near you, into town for coffee or lunch. Now we're going to add the arms, opposite, opposite, opposite. So thinking about if we were going for a hearty English countryside walk, we'd have our arms going, we have our legs lifted. This brisk weather up here, good for brisk walking. And let's come a little faster. And again, moderate your effort, moderate what works for you. Pause if you need to, start up again. Just want to get circulation going, increase the heart rate just a little bit. Bring in those deep breaths, breathing deeply of the fresh country air. Here on the coast, I always feel like we have ocean breezes, even if we're inland, clearing our air out and slow it down. Slow-mo action hero. 3, 2, 1. And down. Great. Inhale. And release. Inhale. And release. Taking your back against the chair, scooting yourself back as far as you can go. Slide the feet out, lift them off the floor. Flex, point, flex, point. Open, toes, heels, toes, heels. Inch away. Nice. And now circle the ankles. If you are barefoot, your feet have a lot more range of motion in terms of really getting at these joints. And bring them down, shake them out. Taking your left knee, bring it in towards you, either holding here or here, planting the right one. And other one, lift it up, bring it into you. One more each side, bring it in. And bring it in. Nice. Okay, coming forward a little bit in your chair, or maybe halfway forward in your chair. We're going to do these stretching. So we're going to take the left foot and bring it out and take the left arm to the right, stretching through this whole side. Bring everything back together and then come out and stretch on the other side. So your head follows this stretch. Giving a nice twist of the spine and a lengthening at the same time. If you like, as I've said, you're welcome to take both arms up. Completely up to you. I really like the single arm. One more each side. And come back down, shake it out. Roll the shoulders. And keep the legs this way. If you'd like, just take the arms forward, open, close. I can press back on one hand. I'm going to bring my feet, legs in. Again, doesn't matter. Press back. Press down. And down. The tops of the hands together. Take the palms together, interlace. Press it forward. Getting a lot of stretch here. We're stretching the hands and the wrists, and we're stretching between the shoulder blades at the same time. All right, I'm going to take and change this up. You can leave your hands like this, or you could have one on top of the other. We're a little bit forward in our chair, maybe a little bit wider apart. We're going to go through the clear the slate. So we clear the slate, pressing down, clear the slate, and then inhale. Push down. Inhale. Clear it. Inhale. And clear it. Inhale. 2 more. Stay right where you are. Reach up and reach up across. Reaching across and across and across. Now take it even, straight across. Now take it down, 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 down. All right, back up. 1 each way. 1 and 1. Middle, 1. And now down. 1 and 1. Reach up, across the body, across. Push it away, and down, down, down. 1 more series, and up, middle, middle, and down, 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 and down. Let your head bow. And release. Inhale. And release. 1 more time, inhale. And release. Scissor the feet together. We'll come up to standing. Okay, scooting as far forward as you feel comfortable. Feet flat on the floor. And we'll just hip hinge once, hip hinge. And back. Hands down, take them forward, momentum forward. Come to standing. Back yourself to the chair. Hip hinge. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Come back down to the chair and sit. We'll come up again. Hip hinge. And on the 3rd time, we'll come up and up. Open, and we'll stay up. Yes, great. So standing beside your chair or beside a wall. Beside your chair, look down at your feet, number 11s, knees, okay? Keeping that distance between the knees, great. So one thing, if you have a block or a cushion of some sort near you, a really nice, quiet practice for strengthening the thighs, the adductors, the outer iliotibial band is to take a block. This is a regular yoga block. This one happens to be cork. There's others that are more of a cushiony rubber. This one is more solid. I use them, you can imagine, for all sorts of things, but they are yoga. So if you put a block, or if you were to stuff a couple of pillows here, so that you have to hold, it would fall down if you weren't putting some pressure on it. But what this does is it makes sure that your knees stay apart and your feet stay apart. And at the same time, you're subtly using all these muscles. So if I were to bend into my knees, I'm using most all of the muscles in my legs and my glutes so that this block doesn't fall, and come up and bend. So if you have a block or something similar to this, we'll use it next time also. So I'm going to come down, and then when I come up, I'll reach up, still holding onto the block, and just go side to side. And again, feel free to have a hand on the chair or the wall. Okay, and then we can come into the chair pose which looks like this. Or you could even do it to your chair like this or like this. Okay. And come back up. And again, raise those arms up, side, side, all the while holding onto that block. Come into the chair, bending at the knees, hip hinging back, and take the arms up and reach up and open. Okay. Now we'll just stand still. We'll isolate this section of the body. So now press against the block, release. Press and release. Press and release. 2 more times. Press and release. And press and release. Okay. And you can find these, they come in sets of 2, Marshall's, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, and of course, online. Okay, great. And now let's come into standing mountain. So we have our muscles all trained to know how to stay strong and far apart. We want to align hips over knees, over feet, shoulders, over hips. Imaginary string coming out of the top, the crown of the head, lifting us, and then our arms come down, shoulders are loose and low, hands, arms relaxed. Maybe you've got a little tiny bend to the knees. We think about this concept of having space behind the knees. So they might look straight, but they're not locked. And this is standing mountain, a pose of silent strength, a pose where you come back to, for new beginnings, to regroup. We all need to regroup. You can think about it as a metaphor for life. You're out here, you're out here, you're out here, you're doing, you're connecting, blah, blah. And maybe you come back home and you just be. You just be. So standing mountain allows you to come back to your center and just be. Okay. Let's widen our stance. Toes pointed forward, and hold on to the chair if you like. Now bend into the knees more deeply. Take your hands to your hips, and we'll do pelvic tilts. So tuck the tailbone, extend the tailbone, and tuck and extend. So taking it through neutral and exploring the gentle edges of where and how much your pelvis moves. Again, things we don't do in normal life all the time or necessarily out in public. Okay, equal time for the hips to go side to side, so bend into the knees and just send your hips out again to a place that feels comfortable. It's kind of sassy, isn't it? A little bit sassy. Doing the hips side to side. Okay, keep that knee bend and now go through all of those 4 points, connecting the dots to make a circle. And if your upper torso is responding to this, have it be a hip hinge. So if you come forward, it's at the hip hinge. Circle the other way. Nice. Like we're warming up to do some belly dancing. One more. And come back to standing. Take those feet, point them out to the corners, a little bit of a bend to the knees, and then just take the arms up. So arms up, roll the shoulders back, lift, gently look upward, opening, squeezing the shoulder blades together. 5-pointed star, making yourself big. So this is rather opposite to standing mountain. 5-pointed star is more of a performance. You're putting yourself out there to give and receive. And you are saying, I am ready. Turn the palms, come back down, and scissor the feet together. And just hold on to the chair and do some high stepping, nice and slow. Bringing your foot all the way down before the other one lifts. Nice. Great. I'm going to bring the camera down. Get just a little better view of my legs. Yep. Okay. So I have my right side to the chair. When I start out with my feet parallel, we're going to do warrior 1 and warrior 2 on each side. Excuse me. So I take my left foot a little bit forward and I take my right one back and angle the foot. And then I gently, seeing what my range of motion is, bring my hips a little bit more forward. Warrior 1 is the forward warrior. So bending into that front knee, you can keep this distance to whatever is comfortable for you. It can take you feel a little bit off balance, but your chair is right there or your wall is right there. All right, so the knee is bent, but you still see your toes, you're lifted. And now we lift both arms up, or we just lift one up. This is warrior 1. So the front heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. We hold this one as we breathe. Now we're going to take it right into warrior 2. So leaving the legs right where they are, turn the body towards your chair. So now you're side to side to your chair. The front arm goes straight out and the back arm goes straight out. Lower your shoulders down and we look out over our front arm. So the body is facing the chair, but the head is looking out towards the future. This is warrior 2. And release down. Warrior 1, warrior 2. Chair to the other side, or if you're against a wall, just do the other side. Taking the right foot forward, the left back, angling, bending into that front knee, look down, see your toes, and then reach those. So, also, we're going to twist, whatever range of motion you have, twist, bring the arms up. You can gaze upward or straight ahead, and always know, be safe. Be safe in yoga. Yoga allows you such opportunity to be whatever you need to be. It's not a traditional exercise class. And turn the whole body towards the chair as you move the arms. And in my classes especially, and many, many senior classes, you're not going to find someone coming around and telling you what you should look like. You need to look like what your body is, what its ability is, and what its ability is on the day we're talking about. And just release everything coming out of those warriors. And then just shake your legs out. Maybe a little bit of a jig here. So warriors are power poses, as is the goddess, as is 5-pointed star. Okay. Now face your chair, maybe your foot 18 inches from the chair. Got your fingers on it. We're going to take some steps back. Just depends again on your anatomy. As we come back, we bend into the knees. We send the buttocks backwards like we're going to sit in a chair. And we keep our fingers on the chair. Feeling the calf stretch, hamstring stretch, glute stretch. Okay. Remembering how we did the pelvic tilt. Okay. And keeping your pelvis in neutral. So you've got a little bit of retraction of the belly button, tightening the core a little bit. So if it's comfortable to you and feels safe to you, taking your buttocks side to side, we call it wagging the tail. So you get into your hips and your glutes just a little bit more. Very mindful movement here. It's not something you want to get into really quickly. And that's again why this yoga is so different from most yoga, because we take our time. It's not about pose, pose, pose. We take our time to transition. All right, pausing in the middle, tuck under, tuck. Come forward so you're almost to the chair, and then press your belly to the chair to come into a back bend, gazing upward, and come back down. We'll come back again. This time we'll do warrior 3. So beginning to walk backwards, take your left foot, place it center under your body as you continue to walk, and then take your right one and reach it back behind you. This is warrior 3. If you'd like to take it to a little deeper challenge, you'd lift that back leg, the right leg, off the floor, transferring all the weight to your left. So just see where your balance is today. Mine is wonky today. And 3, 2, 1, slide her back, walk forward, press, and come to a straight spine. We'll do that again on the other side. So walk back, take your right foot in and under your body, so it's center. Bend into that knee. That's called your standing leg. Take the left one back, slide it back, and you might keep the toes on the floor, or you might lift that leg off the floor, lengthening it back behind you. And 3, 2, 1, slide it down, walk forward, back bend, maybe take a back bend with your arms back this time. And come back to center. Great. Okay. Left side to the chair. So let's just exaggerate our weight side to side for a moment. So transfer weight and transfer weight. You can also make this an arch stretch for your foot. So very exaggerated transfer of weight, similar to what happens when you walk. Okay, now we're going to take, leave the weight on the left leg, the one closest to the chair, holding onto the chair, and just lift the right one up and hold it up. Keep breathing. So building strength in the standing leg. So this is an extreme weight bearing exercise. Release. Bring the weight to both feet. We'll stay right where we are, but this time we'll bring the inside leg in. Our left leg, transfer the weight to the right. Lift the left leg. Let the standing leg do the work. And as always, you could do this against a wall. Breathing. And 3, 2, 1, down. Shake it out. Okay, keeping our right side to the chair, bending into the knees. This time we're going to transfer the weight to the inside leg, the left leg. And then we're going to free up the right one to do toes in the sand. Taking it forward, around, back. Using that standing leg to support you, but also to move with you. And you can do this arm if you like. And making it into a dancing movement. Pause, take it in the opposite direction. So you move right through center without pausing. You might be feeling that standing leg working really hard right now. One more. Back. Switching sides. Putting your weight on your inside leg, your right leg, freeing up the right to move, bend into that knee, and take everything, not everything, take your foot and leg forward, toes in the sand. And let's reverse. There's an Annie Lennox song, and I don't know if this is the title, but every once in a while I think of this phrase in there where she says, "I'm a legend in my living room." And sometimes I think about that. Legend in my living room. And last one, and around. Widen that stance again. Bend into the knees and just circle out the hips. Oh, and time is ticking away. Okay, other direction. And pause, bend into the knees, a couple of hip hinges, not hip hinges, pelvic tilts. All right, neutralize, standing up, coming to stand in front of your chair. Getting ready to sit down, so your legs actually touch the chair. Hip hinge, reach the arms out, lower yourself slowly and gently into the chair. Coming back, and you can, big sigh of relief. Because to me right now, the back of the chair feels really good. I'm pressing my low back against the chair, and even my upper back against the chair feels really, really supportive and comforting. So let's just come to stillness for just a moment, and then we'll do some final stretching. So just in this seated mountain, making sure that you have your shoulders back and down, like shrug one time. And then roll like you have caramel, this warm caramel. Wouldn't that be nice? Lubricating all of our joints so they move freely. Great. Taking the hands nice and easy down to the thighs. You feel your feet on the floor, but they're not pressing. Same with your sit bones and the backs of your thighs. You're very aware of the physical connection, but you're not exerting any effort at the moment. Coming back to the stillness of your breath, the gentle in and out wave. In mindfulness meditation, there's a 2-line phrase that can be used to settle the breath if you're having difficulty settling it or connecting to it. You repeat over and over in your head, breathing in, I breathe in, breathing out, I breathe out, breathing in, I breathe in, breathing out, I breathe out. So if your mind is focused on a mantra like that, it's not busy doing anything else. So let's lift our left leg, bring it in to the body. And if it's available, take the ankle to the top of the thigh and just pause for a moment here. My jaw feels tight. I'm just going to massage it just a little bit. Then you might take your hands to the front of your leg, hip hinge forward to increase the stretch of the hip. All the muscles in the hip worked really hard when we were doing the warriors, and also when we were standing on one leg. Engages and contracts all those muscles. And take it back. And one more time. And take it back, and then just gently relax it. And lift it up, bring it back down. Take the right knee in, gently lift it, place it over. And again, if this is just not what your leg wants to do, just take it at any point on your leg. And let it just come to its own place of stretching. Just being in this position is stretching out the hip. Sending the breath to it also helps with the stretch. Pressing your sit bones into the chair. If you'd like, taking your hands to the front of the leg, leaning forward with a hip hinge, sternum forward, chin, nose. Breathing into it. Sitting back. And come forward one more time. And release. And then just a gentle side to side. All right, taking that leg down. Coming back into seated mountain. Breathe into any spots that seem tight right now. Being aware of your place without questioning it, without trying to answer questions, without judging, without criticism. I listened to a podcast this week, Hidden Brain, very good. And the psychologist that was on was talking about the difference between doing a bad thing and being a bad person. And she was talking about it in the context of self-criticism. So just because we've done something that we're not happy we did that, it doesn't make us a bad person. It was a thing that we did. So to turn off the self-critic and to learn from whatever it was that we did that we're not happy with, and to move on is basically what she was saying. To not dwell on it. And taking your hands together, showing yourself self-compassion today, being as kind to yourself as you are to others. The light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. Namaste.